All right, we want to take you to Capitol Hill right now. GOP leadership talking about the passage of the Senate budget resolution blueprint. Let's take a listen.
We've set out to achieve. And everybody has been in the room at different stages. You know, some members had more questions than others. And every member knows, and I've been very candid, there's still a lot of work left to do, but we are including all of our members, from the most conservatives to those in the most swing districts, in all of these conversations, because it's going to take all of us to get it done.
Is this probably the easiest vote that you have to take?
None of these votes are easy, and then the next votes won't be easy, but they're all significantly important for the American people. And I think if you just keep sight of what the goal is. Our goal from the very beginning is to provide relief to families who have been struggling, to get our economy back on track, and deliver on the promises that President Trump and House and Senate Republicans ran on during the campaign and were elected and given a mandate to deliver. We're now working on those next steps, and we're going to get this passed, because failure is not an option.
Where are you going to find the savings, sir? Where are you going to find the savings, sir?
And well, the beauty is that the committees get to go do that. You can find 1.5 trillion and more. And obviously, you saw the press conference this morning.
Without cutting Medicaid.
Well, first of all, if you look, bless you, if you look at just waste, fraud, and abuse in all federal programs, that's on the table. And I think most Americans would tell you, please go root out waste, fraud, and abuse. So if any program is stealing money from taxpayers in a way that's not intended, not even talking about changing eligibility, all of those things are going to be looked at to make the programs work better. Some of these programs do not work well for the people on it. I'll give you an example. You know, because a lot of lies have been told about disabled people. Medicaid does not work well enough for disabled people. We can make it work better, and part of that is by taking away some of the siphoning off of the program by people that shouldn't be on it. There are illegals in the hundreds of thousands at a minimum on Medicaid, taking billions of dollars out of that program, hurting disabled people. So we need to strengthen those programs, and we're going to be working on that too. But if you look at some of the other things, spectrum sales, nobody talks about that. Everybody talks about $880 billion in energy and commerce as if it's all health care. There's probably $200 billion in non-healthcare related programs before you even start talking about more savings and reforms. Things like spectrum sales. You know, how do you go from 5G networks to 6G? It's not just some clouds in the sky that you're dealing with. It's spectrum, which is a federal asset that we auction off every few years. What's been too long? Any of these companies that spend billions of dollars building out networks will tell you we need more spectrum made available, which means the federal government owns all of that, and we offer it up for sale every few years. And we generate tens of billions, if not close to $100 billion for the taxpayers. And that yields, by the way, billions more private investment. It's why you get economic growth when you lock in tax rates and make a more sane, common sense regulatory structure, because then you see private investment. I've heard these numbers, and you can talk to people in any walk of life in the private sector, in any industry. They will tell you there's trillions, $4-5 trillion of money sitting on the sideline, not being invested in America now until they see what the tax code looks like. Everybody's talking about tariffs right now. Most businesses are waiting to see what the tax code will look like before they make major investments. And they will tell you, if we just prevent a tax hike, which, by the way, every Democrat voted today to raise taxes, and they've said they wanted the tax rates to go up. We do not. And if we flatline and say no tax increases on American families, that alone will spur trillions of dollars more investment in our economy. And you could see 3% GDP growth with the economy, more money in your pockets when you go to the grocery store, when you go to the gas station, but it also gives us, the federal treasury, more money coming in to lower the deficit.
Mr. Leader, what's the timeline to get all this done?
Yeah, the timeline to get this done is as quick as we can get it done. We've said, you know, by the end of May.
We do want to go